how to evaluate the risk factor and the return factors. Finally, you can study about what are the ethical dimensions or the ethical aspect of 15 marks questions, and at the same time you can expect a 5 marks question also. Hello my dear student, I welcome you all to the 5th semester of BBA. So my name is Krupamdi, faculty in the Department of Commerce, Vidyashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. So in the 5th semester, you have one subject, that is financial management. So branch of financial management, so that we have here, that is the advanced corporate finance. So it is one basically the practical oriented subject. So same your continuation of 4th semester what you have studied, your financial management. So one branch of that we have here, that is advanced corporate finance. So that you are going to study here in this 5th semester. So here, what is advanced corporate finance? So basically, your advanced corporate finance, it is a branch of financial management that means this subject focus on how the companies makes the investment proposals, or how companies raises the funds, and how the companies takes the important financial decision, so as to they can maximize the shareholders' wealth, and also they can achieve the long-term growth. So what are the area or the topics that is covered under your advanced corporate finance? So generally here the important financial decision that a company takes, it is the capital budgeting. So that is what are the project or the investment project that they are going to take, and how to evaluate the performance of those investment project. So for example, if any project or finance is invested in any project, so what is the future cash flows that they are getting? And there are certain techniques that is available and that is used to measure the performance of this investment project. So that is the one main area. And another important area that is your advanced corporate finance is related, it is about the deciding the optimum capital structure. So when I say the capital structure, here it is basically the mix of your debt and your equity. So for example, a company is planning to raise a capital of 50 lakh, for example. So out of that 50 lakh, how much they are going to raise through the issue of debt bonds or the debenture or any bonds, and how much of capital they will be raising by the equity shares. So the deciding of the mix of debt and equity, and what is the risk and return that is involved in this one. So that is also one of the main focus area of this your advanced corporate finance. And the third one important concept that comes here, it is the deciding about the dividend. So what is the dividend decisions that the company is going to take? So that means every year, whatever the profit they have got, how much of the profit that they are going to distribute as dividend to the equity shareholders, and how much of profit they are going to retain in the business, so that can be reinvested in the business. So that is one of the main decision area of the financial management. So that also comes under that you are going to study under this subject. And then fourth aspect comes about your merger and acquisition. So another important financial management decisions, it is about the merger and acquisition. So when a company, when they go for combinations, for example, a company acquires another business or another company, or when two companies, they combine their business, so that is when they go for the merging. And how to evaluate the financial aspect. So that is also the main area of your advanced corporate finance. So these are all the important concept or the area that your advanced corporate finance is included. So that you are going to study on the important these financial decision in this subject. So basically it is the 100 marks paper. So that means your external, you're going to write it for 80 marks, and then the remaining 20 marks, it is the internal assessment. So the 90% of this subject, it is all about the solving the problem, and one unit that you have, it is a theoretical or the theory chapter. So the total 5 units that you have, in that 4 units all the problem related, and 1 unit that you have the theory base of this subject. So the agenda in the today's session, we are going to study about what are the course outcomes. So that means after you study this advanced corporate finance, what are the benefits or the outcomes that you are going to get, and the discussion on each units. What are the units that we are studying in the subject, and what is the maximum marks allotted, and the question paper patterns, so your internals and external, how the question paper patterns will be, and also we'll see what are the reference textbooks that are available to study this financial management subject. So first we'll see what are the course outcomes here. So here we can conceptualize and analytical understanding of the risk and uncertainty in capital budgeting. So the capital budgeting simply means what? You're investing, you're taking up any investment project. So that means you are investing your capital or your amount in any projects. So what is the risk associated it? And also there is a concept of uncertainties. So that how much of return that you are going to get. So that is the uncertain factors in the capital budgeting. So you can analyze or you can understand the relationship between the risk involved for taking up any project and what is the return that they are going to expect. So you can understand the relationship between risk and the uncertainty. Then we can comprehend the different advanced capital budgeting techniques. So as I said earlier, related to the capital budgeting, when you take up any investment project and how to evaluate the performance or how to evaluate the risk factor and the return factors. To evaluate that, there are certain techniques that are available. So you are going to completely study what are those techniques that helps in evaluating any capital budgeting or capital investment project. So then we can understand the importance of the dividend decisions. So one of the main area of the financial management or the main the decisions that the financial managers they are going to take, it is about the dividend decision. So how much of profit is distributed as dividend and how much of profit has to be retained in the business as a retained earnings. So that is the important area of financial management. So here you can understand what is the dividend decision, how it will impact the value of shares. So the next we have evaluate merger and acquisition. So that means when two companies go for merging, where one company acquires another company, how to evaluate the financial aspect in case of merger and acquisitions, that you are going to study here. And finally, you can study about what are the ethical dimensions or the ethical aspect that is included in the financial management. So that means what are the, as a financial managers or the company's financial management point of view, what are the ethical aspects that they need to follow, and also related to the corporate governance, that how they need to follow. So that also you will be getting under this after you study the subject. So now we'll see in the subject what are the units that we are going to study here. So here module 1, risk analysis in capital budgeting. Then module number 2, capital structure theories. Then module number 3, dividend decision. Then we have 4th unit, that is merger and acquisition. Then we have ethical and governance issues and also the sustainable finance. So these are the 5 units that we have under the subject. So here all 4 we are going to solve the problem, that is the problem oriented units, and the 5th unit, it is completely the theory. So the 5th unit, that is the ethical and the governance issues and the sustainable finance. So that unit, it is entirely the theory, and all the remaining 4 that we are going to solve under these 4 units. So now we'll see the individual unit wise. So what are the topics that we have? So the first unit, risk analysis in capital budgeting. So first we'll understand what is the time value of money. So as we all know that the money what we receive today will not have the same value in the future period. So that is the concept of time value of money. So that we'll study. And what is the risk and uncertainty in business? And what is the importance of risk management in financial decision making, and what are the types of the business risk or the risk associated in the financial management that we have. So usually there is a systematic risk and unsystematic risk. So what are the various risks that is covered under these two types? So that we are going to study here. Then we have the important concept, that is the techniques of measuring various risk. So these are the important topics that we have. The first technique that we have, it is the risk adjusted discount rate. So RADR, so here we'll solve the problem, and the certainty equivalent approach. So by using the certainty equivalent values, how to find out the risk? So the important here under RADR and the risk certainty equivalent approach, so we are calculating the NPV, that is net present value of future cash flows. So the important concept or the problems that you can expect the problems here, the calculation of NPV, one, it is using the RADR, that is risk adjusted discount rate, and another it is calculation of NPV using certainty equivalent. So then we have the probability approach. So when the probability of future cash flows is given, how to calculate here? So we have the probability approach, then standard deviation and the coefficient of variation. So important here problem that we are going to solve here, that is one under risk adjusted discount rate, certainty equivalent approach. Then we have probability and the standard deviation. So four important techniques that will solve the problem under these four techniques. So two questions that you can expect out of these four techniques. So then we have sensitivity analysis, scenario analysis and decision tree analysis. These are only the concept. So what is sensitivity analysis, scenario analysis and decision tree approach? So we are going to study only the concept here and no problems are included here. So the first unit, important concept that you need to focus, it is on these four: risk adjusted discount rate, certainty equivalent, probability and the standard deviation. So these are the four techniques that we'll apply and solve the problem. So this is the first unit that we have. Now coming to the second unit that we have, it is the capital structure theories. So as I said earlier, your capital structure means it is the mix of debt and equity. So deciding what is the optimum or what is the exact portion or the optimum proportion of debt and equity. So that is the decision of the capital structure. So here we'll study about what is capital structure and the significance, and what is financial leverage and its impact. So the leverage means usually the benefit. So what is the financial benefit that they'll get by having an optimum capital structure? So in both the cases, whenever the company increases the debt form, there is a risk associated it, because the debenture holders or the debt bonds holders, every year they have to given with the interest. So even though company is having a loss or incurring a loss, the payment of interest is compulsory. But for the equity shareholders, it is optional. So some years they may give 100% dividend, other years they might not give any the dividend, the entire profit they might retain in the business. So that means there is a risk and return associated in the capital, that is debt and equity mix. So that is the financial leverage, and what is the impact of this debt and equity mix on the profit earning capacity and also on the financial management. Then we'll discuss what is optimum capital structure, and then we have important theories of capital structure. So here important problems that we are going to solve here, that is under the capital structure theories. So one theory it is the net income approach. Then we have NOI, that is net operating income approach. Then we have traditional approach. Then we have Modigliani and Miller, that is hypothesis. So these are the four important theories, the theories on capital structure. So that we are going to solve the problem under these theories. That is net income NI approach, NOI approach, traditional approach and hypothesis. So these are the four concepts are very important in this second unit. Now, moving on to the third unit, it is about the dividend decision. So, dividend decisions, it is one of the major area of the financial management or the major financial decision. So, the dividend decisions, as I said earlier, it is the decisions taken by the management or the financial management, how the profit has to be distributed, how much of dividend has to be given to the shareholders, and how much of profit that will be retained in the business. So, deciding of this, so that we'll have a discussion, so that we are going to study under third unit. So, here important theories that we have, relevant theory and the irrelevant theory. So, there are certain theories that explains or that tells that whatever the percentage of dividend is declared, that directly impact the values of a firm. And there is irrelevant theory also. It says that no matter how much of the dividend is declared, it has no connections with the market values of the equity shares of a company. So, these three concepts, that is the relevance theory and the irrelevance theory. So, those are the two theory that we are going to study under third unit. So, here relevant theory, we have Walter's model and the Gordon's model to apply. Then theory of irrelevance, we have Miller and Modigliani hypothesis or Miller or Modigliani theory, which says that the irrelevancy of dividend decisions on the market value of shares. So, important here, we'll apply Walter's model, then we apply the Gordon's model, and then the So, these three are very important here, where you can expect 15 marks questions, and at the same time you can expect a 5 marks question also. So, solving the Walter's model and Gordon's model and the theory. So, the important concept, that the problems that we'll study under third unit. Now, moving on to the fourth unit, that is the merger and acquisition. So, we all know that what is merger and what is acquisition. Suppose there is company A and B. So, they are going to combine their business. That means they are going to merge their business, and new firm is, or the new company is formed. For example, AB Group, so AB Limited. So, this is the case of merger. So, then acquisition. Acquisition means what? There is a company A which is going to acquire another small business or small company called B, and where B is close their business and they will be taking over by the A. So, that is the case of acquisition. So, in the case of merger and acquisitions, how to do the financial evaluations of the companies? So, that we'll going to study under fourth unit, merger and acquisition. So, here the topics covered, we will study about what is merger and what is acquisition and what is the takeover. Then what are the types of combinations, that is mergers, and what are the benefits in each cases. And what are the strategies to avoid the takeovers and the acquisition. Then how to do the financial evaluation of a merger. So, here when the companies goes for merging or the acquisitions, important the calculations will be there. So, here one important calculation that we have, it is the PE ratio, that is price earning ratio. Important calculations we'll have, and another it is we have the calculation of exchange ratio. So, in the entire merger and acquisition, here we'll solve or we'll see how to calculate the PE ratio and how to calculate the exchange ratio. So, these are the two important calculations that we have under the merger and acquisition. And these are all the theory, and the important concept that will solve the problem here, it is about the PE ratio and the exchange ratio. Next, fifth unit, you will have the theory based unit. That is, what are the ethical aspect and the governance aspect, and also what is the sustainable finance. So, here we'll see the introduction to ethical and the corporate governance. Then what are the fundamental principles of ethical issues, and what are the major ethical issues that is faced in the financial management. And what is agency relationship theory and the transaction cost theory, and what is the structures, governance structures and the policies. So, here the important concept here too we have, it is what is agency relationship and what is the transaction cost theory. So, that two theories, theoretical basis that we are going to study here. Then what are the purpose and content of having an integrated report? And what is the sustainable finance? And what are the difference between the sustainable finance and between the traditional finance? And what is ESG, responsible investing? And what are the factors that impact the investing and also the ethical investing? So here in the fifth unit, we'll study about what are the ethical issues that is faced in the financial management and what are the corporate governance issues. And two simple theories that we have here, it is the agency relationship and also the transaction cost theory. So here the important thing, that is agencies and there is a principal. Usually the company shareholders, they will be the principal and there will be the board of the director who act as an agent of the principal, that is agent of the equity shareholders. And how to have the balanced relationship between the agencies, that is the board of the directors and the shareholders. So that is the theory that explains here agency relationship theory. And at the same time, there is a transaction cost theory also, that is also important in this unit. Then we'll see what is the sustainable finance and what are the major difference between the sustainable finance and the traditional finance. So these are all the theory that you need to study under fifth unit. So these are all the overall the 5 units that we are going to study under this advanced corporate finance. Next, coming to your total marks, here we have total, it is 100. In that 80 marks, that is the external examinations, and 20 marks, so we'll have the internal assessment. To allocate this 20 marks, so here internals, you will have 2 internals, internal 1 and internal 2. So in the first internals, we'll include first unit and second unit. That is your capital budgeting techniques and then capital structure theories. So these 2 units that will be given for the first internals, and the second internals will have remaining 3 units, merger and acquisition, then dividend decisions, then the ethical issues in the financial management. Those 3 theory units that will be given for the internal test 2. And the marks, your final these 20 marks that will be allocated on the average of these 2 internals. Now coming to the external semester examination, so your question paper pattern, so total will be for 80 marks. So you will have section A, B and C. So now section A, it is 5 into 4. So the 5 marks, 4 question each. So you will have 5 marks, 4 questions. So the total it is 20. So usually here for the 5 marks, you can expect 3 theories and 3 practical small questions. The calculation of PE ratio or the calculation of exchange ratio under your merger and acquisitions, and also the calculation of share price, either the Walters model or the Gornes model, that you can expect here practical, and then the theory, some of the theory questions. And then part B, that is your section B, it covers 10 marks, total 3 questions. 10 marks, 3 questions that you have to write. So if you're thorough with the problems or the practical, all 3 you can solve the problems only. If you are finding the problems are difficult, then you can have the 2 theory questions also, it will be given. So you can attend the theories also. So here simply, here for the practical part, so here you will have the techniques, capital budgeting techniques, maybe the RADR or the certainty equivalent or the standard deviations, any one problems that you can expect. And then you have NI approach or NOI approach of capital structure theories. So that question also you can expect for 10 marks. And then you can expect here, it is the exchange ratio calculation. Exchange ratio calculations of merger and acquisitions. So these are the questions that you can expect for 10 marks, where you have to attend 3 practical problems and 2 theories that you can have as an option. Then part C, it is 15 marks, 2 questions you need to write. Total it is 30 marks. So here part C, definitely one questions, that is the Walters and the Gordon's model under dividend decisions. That is one definite questions. And then your calculations of NPV or the standard deviations, that question also you can expect. And the theory one, any theory that you can expect under section C, the 15 marks, 2 questions. So the total will be for 80 marks. So if you are concentrating and if you follow all the classes, all the sessions, so definitely if you concentrate on the practical part more, so easily you can get a centum under this subject. So now we'll see what are the books that are available for the reference. So here under each unit, each concept will be having a Google classes or the sessions that you can follow, and also you will get the notes related to this. Along with that, if you want any additional questions or the additional topics on this subject, so there are certain textbooks that are available. One, it is the Financial Management by I.M. Pandey, and then the Financial Management by Raghavendra, and then Financial Management by the Abresh Gupta, and then Basic Financial Management by Khan and Jain. So these are the some of the textbooks that are available that you can refer. So this is all about your introductions to the advanced corporate finance. So here where we have a simple 5 units, and from the next sessions, so we are going to start your first unit. So we all meet in the next session. Thank you.